Okay, so I don't think that, I mean, it's pretty obvious that I struggle to come up with things to talk about during these videos, but um, part of that is like I do this thing in my head where I go over, I'll be like, oh, this would be a very interesting topic that I'd want to talk about and stuff. And then I usually am not, it's not like a time that's good for me to make a video at that point. Usually I'm like at work or something. And so while I'm working, I might be like going through the topic and like, oh, I might say something like this and I'd want to add this in and talk about this and all of that. And I'll go through and I'll essentially like write it out in my head and plan the whole thing. And then after I've like got what I wanted to say, I'll be like completely unmotivated to actually go through and make the video. And I do that with honestly most projects. I'll be like, oh, I want to do this art project or whatever. And I'll be like, this is how I would do it. I don't think this will work. Maybe if I try it this way. And I think it over and I plan it all out. And then I get done and then I'll be like, okay, well, I don't actually have to go through and make it. And sometimes that's okay. Like, it's like I get the satisfaction of completing a project just from like thinking it out. And some of that goes towards like I've actually spent a lot of time looking at like Myers-Briggs test and at like my personality type. It has helped me learn a lot about why I plan and think things through the way I do. And I know like a lot of people don't really care for that test and they think that there's a lot of issues with it, and I don't necessarily think that all of their criticism is bad or anything, but for me it was really helpful. And I might do a video where I talk about that, but I really thinking about, oh, I'm going to, I want to make a video about this topic or that topic, it makes it really, really hard for me to actually go through and do it. I kind of have to get anything done, do something that just like a little bit spontaneously, because if I put myself in a position where I'm going to think it through, it's never actually going to get done, which is kind of a problem. Like even something as simple as chores around the house, if I'm like in my head going, oh, I'm going to do this thing and then this thing and then this thing, and I spend too much time planning out when it would be the best time to do this thing, it won't get done at all. But so I kind of just have to like get up and get moving and then start doing things and sort of trick myself into doing them. All of this came from like I really wanted to do a video talking a bit about prejudice and stereotypes and privilege, and I kind of did this thing. As I was at work at the time, I started planning out what kinds of things I would want to say, and then after like a couple of days of thinking it through, it was like, well, there's no point in making the video anymore. So I don't know. That's something I want to work on. is being able to plan things out and then actually follow through and do them, because I've just not been able to do that for a very, very, very long time. And well, I do think that being able to think things through and be very thorough in my planning and everything is a good thing. If it's getting in the way of actually getting things accomplished, it's kind of a problem. But anyways, that's what I wanted to talk about today. Maybe I'll be able to come up with a planned video at some other point, but for right now, it's not looking that way.